Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A lawsuit has been filed against a physician on Saipan. We tell you who. Also tonight, those who enter the CNMI will soon see new quarantine procedures. And a deadline has been set for PUA FPUC applications. In sports, the soccer spring leagues open. That was always the goal. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
A meal replacement smoothie is a great way to keep your fitness goals on track during the holiday season, and they taste great, fast, and easy. The December smoothie of the month is Minty Java Choco Chip, and it's just $5. Check out the Shake Cafe, Gold's Gym, Garapan.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafa Day, Turawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, March 5th, 2021. The United States Attorney's Office has filed a lawsuit against a Saipan physician for allegedly unlawfully dispensing opioids and other controlled substances. A complaint has been filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands that alleges Dr. John Doyle has violated the Controlled Substances Act under Title 21 of the United States Code. Dr. Doyle practices at Marianas Medical Center here on Saipan. A release from the Department of Justice states the complaint filed alleges Dr. Doyle issued multiple prescriptions for high quantities of, quote, the Holy Trinity, opioids, benzodiazepines, and muscle relaxants, along with other controlled substances to the spouse of a colleague. This was often without examining the patient. The complaint also says Dr. Doyle allegedly ignored physical and mental signs of addiction when he prescribed opioids and other controlled substances to another patient, and that his actions led to a high risk of, quote, overdose or death in the patients. The release goes on to say Dr. Doyle had previously been disciplined by the Kentucky Medical Board for the overdose death of a patient with similar violations. The complaint seeks civil penalties of 73 violations of the Controlled Substances Act for up to $67,627. A look back to 2016 on KSPN shows Dr. Doyle was advocating marijuana, a drug that is now legal in the CNMI.
If used in moderation, they're just very negligible. We don't see the same level of lung disease, for instance, with smoking marijuana as you do with smoking cigarettes. You certainly don't see addiction. You don't see overdose. It's proven not to be harmful. It's proven not to be addictive. And again, nobody ever overdoses on marijuana. Drug overdoses from heroin and other opiates like OxyContin has dropped 26%. It's a phenomenal drop. And the only difference between the states that have had the drop and the states that have not had the drop has been the legalization of marijuana, either for medical use or for recreational and medical use.
The Department of Justice says this lawsuit is the first ever Controlled Substances Act civil suit against a physician in the Northern Mariana Islands. Assistant U.S. Attorneys for Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands, Michael Schwab and Jessica Westling, are the prosecutors in this case. The Saipan and Honolulu Diversion Group of the Drug Enforcement Administration are investigating the case. KSPN reached out to Dr. Doyle for comment, but as of press time has not received a response. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation is working to change the quarantine procedures for the CNMI. CHCC's protocols for quarantine when an individual enters the CNMI will be changing. If an individual has been vaccinated in the CNMI, completed the series, and is traveling back to the islands from another location, self-quarantine will be an option.
It's something that we're still working with the task force to ensure that there's that surveillance process. So people will have the option to self-quarantine. However, it's quarantine, but it's still self-quarantine if they've completed the series.
But the same rules will apply. 5-day quarantine, first-day testing, and 5th-day testing.
Well, there is going to be an assessment, of course, of that. Now, let's say, for example, so it will be like us again. You'll be treated just similar to how a critical essential worker is treated. They're put in a holding area, and that holding area for the test result to come back. And once the test result comes back, and there is also an assessment of whether or not you can actually self-quarantine. You can say, oh, I want to self-quarantine, but you have, let's say you are in a congregate setting, and that, and it will be difficult for you to self-quarantine, then, that may be not be approved at all, So it has to certainly meet the criteria of self-quarantine. You're able to go home, sleep in your own bed, eat your own food and do what you want to do at home. And you are expected to have limited movement.
Munoz says this will go into effect within the next week or two.
It's going to be incorporated into the health declaration form, the mandatory health declaration form when you're traveling. So we're going to be including that. So it's a system that needs to be updated and making sure that you have that option. And then after that, then of course, it's to also make sure that the process is there as well. All agencies that are part of the task force will be participating in making sure that that is addressed.
Today, CHCC received 9,360 doses of the Pfizer vaccine and 4,800 of Moderna for the month of March. So far, 11,409 individuals have received dose 1 of the vaccine in the CNMI, and 8,171 have received both dose 1 and 2. The CNMI Department of Labor has set a deadline to submit applications for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. Take a listen.
We are going to announce or let the public know that on March 13th, that is the cutoff date for PUA, and we will be closing the offices on March 15 or after March 15, actually, so that if they want to, they need assistance with their PUA application, applicants will have to call in or email, and that is the only way we're going to meet with applicants so that we can adjudicate as quickly as possible.
The second round of PUA FPUC covers December 27th, 2020 through March 13th, 2021, with up to $345 a week for PUA and $300 a week for FPUC. DOL Employment Services Director Eugene Tebuteb says the Department of Labor has only received 2,000 applications so far for this round of PUA FPUC, a large percentage less than the first round.
We're looking at 2,000 applications that we have received so far. Based on our reports, we know for sure that there are roughly 3,000 employees that are still affected by the pandemic in terms of having reduced hours or being furloughed or laid off. We also know that there's a reduction in force that would affect 180 government employees. We're looking at our numbers now, comparing it to round 1 of PUA, and it is way less than what we're wanting to see.
If you do qualify for round 2 of PUA FPUC, you must apply or reapply with the Department of Labor, either online or by paper application. And applications are not approved until all documentation is received by DOL, proving an individual is eligible for this round.
A lot of our claimants say, well, I submitted documents, and I said, okay, when we look at your application, you've got some documents, but you're missing copies of your check stub, or it could be anything, check stub, a letter of certification from their employer or themselves. It could be anything that's required, a bank statement. I mean, this level of paperwork is incredible, as we all found out for the past 13 months, actually. It's not just a matter of saying, I applied, so why am I not receiving the PUA? Because I applied, and make sure the documents are complete. And then you will receive the benefits provided you're eligible and you've fulfilled all the requirements.
CNMI DOL has been approved for $262 million, but has not received the funding in their bank account yet. Benavente says they do expect it within a couple of days. The U.S. House of Representatives have passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that will extend the PUA benefits to September of this year. The bill is now with the U.S. Senate for approval. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation has sent out a consumer advisory on a recall of corned beef products. CHCC states on March 1st, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service recalled about 239,715 pounds of ready-to-eat Milky Way Trading Corporation's canned corned beef products. The reason is due to importation into the United States and distributed without the benefit of inspection by the Food and Safety Inspection Service. The canned corned beef items were imported on various dates between June 6, 2020 to January 21, 2021. The affected products have various styles of, quote, OX and, quote, palm, and are labeled with, quote, best before dates with various code marks. The Environment's Health Disease Prevention inspectors went to wholesalers and retailers to inspect and found no stock in the stores that fell within the affected list. A fisherman drowned just outside the Civic Center area last week. According to the Department of Public Safety, on February 26 around 8 p.m., officers received a call of an overdue fisherman in Susupi. DPS responded to the scene where at 9 p.m., units on land spotted a cooler floating in the water outside the World Resort Hotel. When officers arrived to the spotted location, the fisherman, 50-year-old Bobby Galanza Gabeo, was unresponsive, submerged underwater, and still strapped to the cooler. CPR was performed by officers and Gabeo was transported to CHCC, where he was pronounced dead at 9:55 p.m. due to drowning. The cause of the drowning is unknown at this time. Coming up, another flight has been added to the route between Saipan and Guam. Find out more after the break.
For your smiles that give me endless pride. For our shared moments that become an endless treasure. And when I've taught you everything I know, I promise to always be here to watch you grow. You've got endless potential, son.
Access all you'll ever need, giving you endless data on your favorite social apps.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. Do you have the flexibility to work out between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.? At Gold's Gym, we call this off-peak, and it can save you money. Short-term, daytime memberships on sale now, just $59 per month. and gets you access to the biggest and cleanest fitness center on island. Get yourself healthy and strong. Check out Gold's Gym today.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. United has added one more weekly flight between Saipan and Guam. Starting today, March 5th, there will be a weekly Friday flight that departs Guam at 5:10 a.m. and arrives on Saipan at 5:51 a.m. The flight from Saipan will depart at 6:55 a.m. and arrive on Guam at 7:35 a.m. This increases the number of flights between the two islands to 4 a week, operating Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. All those who have submitted an error-free tax return should have already received their $600 stimulus check. Secretary of Finance David Adelig gives us an update.
Any completed free of error returns and taxpayers that are expecting the stimulus check in terms of we call EIP2, the $600 per taxpayer, that has all been distributed.
Secretary of Finance David Adelig says if you have not, there may be an issue with the name, social, or other documentation needed to proceed with the payment. One should contact the Department of Finance to fix any errors. He says the Department of Finance used the 2019 tax return data to distribute the checks.
In the first stimulus, a lot of people received stimulus based on the 2018 tax return data. So if you haven't received it, a lot of zero income taxpayers here in the CNMI submitted 2018 but not 2019, and that could be the reason for not receiving it yet.
He says there is no shortage of funds, so if you are still owed a stimulus check, once the errors are fixed, you will receive the money.
A lot of people also will be getting a lot of the stimulus if they haven't received it from the first and second. A lot of taxpayers' documentations needs to be submitted, and when they do submit their 2020 tax returns, they will definitely be getting all those stimulus credits in their returns or their refunds.
On Guam, officials are looking to expand the face-to-face instruction for students. KUAM reports.
Half-a-day CNMI, I'm Tyler Matsinani. Here's what's making news on Guam. Today, GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez plans to present his plans to expand face-to-face instruction before the Guam Education Board. Here's the latest progress report from the island's largest government agency.
The return of face-to-face instruction has been a major goal for the Department of Education since the island-wide lockdown. Now, the goal is expansion. GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez plans to bring the discussion to the table before the board at this week's GEB meeting. With the progression of vaccination efforts, a low COVID infection rate, and federal funds rolling in to ensure safe and healthy campuses, what else is needed to bring more students back to school?
It really comes out of just our experience with the past, this past quarter, bringing students back, seeing how many students opted to return face-to-face, hearing from teachers, and now, listening to the community, especially those who do want to see more opportunities for students to come back to the classroom.
Fernandez says currently capacity restrictions will be what drives the discussion. The department will also consider the demand on how many students wish to return to campus, which at this point, he says has only been about 30 to 40%. They previously had a wait list of 250 students, but schools have accommodated them over the last couple of weeks.
Anybody who is now requesting to go to face-to-face, we're going to be looking ahead to next quarter, which starts on March 12th, so really just about a week away. But right now, we still have about 9,000 slots open for face-to-face instruction.
But what about for schools operating in cohorts where some students only come in once a week?
Right? So there are some schools that can, because the number of students in each cohort does not exceed the total capacity they have to bring, for on a day-to-day basis. If you're talking about, do we have, the ability for some schools to increase the number of days face-to-face, the answer is going to be yes for some, and for some of them, no. Some of them, they do have slots available, but they don't have, but they still have, too many students to be able to double up and still maintain, the safety requirements.
Come next school year, GDOE is looking at cutting out hard copy as a model of learning and limiting it to either face-to-face or online instruction. But the number one factor limiting the expansion is the 6 feet social distancing protocol. This enforcement allows for only so many students per classroom. Fernandez says those discussions are currently underway with Adelup.
Stay informed 24/7 by checking out KUAM.com or downloading the KUAM News app available for iOS or Android. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Thank you. All right, coming up at the KSPN2 Sports Report, lots of stuff, so don't run away. And don't swim away either.
The newest in entertainment lets you do TV your way with Docomo Pacific D TV Plus. Watch your favorite live and local channels, stream movies and shows on TV, on your phone, and on your tablet, right from your Docomo Pacific Wi-Fi. No more wires, no more cable boxes, now with the best price. Do TV your way with Docomo Pacific D TV Plus.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Marianas Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Marianas Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com. Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Buenas sports fans. When sports fans, the M League and Dove League has sprung open. For these goal-kicking stories, we head south to the K-Field pitches. Sunny Sunday afternoon, get your temperatures checked and come on in. Dove League on the mini pitch that had been completely destroyed by U2 and then repaired. Saipan United's Caitlin Chavez attempts the cross. Shirley Mae Ito says forget about that. Southern United loads up and it, off the side of the goal. They needed that. Brittany Wally to Caitlin for one of her 2 scores. Shirley's, well, they didn't get this one in, but they did put 7 in for the 7-6 victory. Kanoa in orange. They steal the ball from Tan Holdings Football Club. Irish Pagra with the fancy 2-step. And then the cross for Crizel to his own. She scores! A hat trick, leading Kanoa to a 7-3 win. Meanwhile, over in the M League, Dave Bush pitches another shutout as KSPN2 Pyrie outclasses a new team called The One FC. 5-0 in favor of Pyrie. The Triathlon Association of the Commonwealth, also affectionately known as TRAC, held its Aquathon Saturday morning. Let's go to Pow Pow Beach. As the full moon fell into the Pacific Ocean and the sun rose over Pow Pow Beach, dozens of inspirational runners/swimmers gathered for the 6th Aquathon. Come on. Kobe, seeing Robert Torres out here, is that like inspirational motivation?
Absolutely. Look at this guy. He's ready to go. The moon. 50s is the new 30s. Right, Bob?
I don't know. I'm way past that. Step on it. Let's go. Lydia Tan was number 1. Oh, you are number 1. Don't you mean you're not number 1? It's right there. You can't fool anybody. You're number 1.
Just the number.
Okay, the real number 1s were Suji Kuroda and Caitlin Chavez. There was also a separate 10K run. Tomasa Bell and Akiko Miller topped their divisions. Well, at least we have a little March Madness basketball going on here on Saipan, thanks to the Rollers Basketball Club last weekend. We're looking at the Rollers White scoring against Rollers Red. Leo Naraha with a nice overall game. Say it, Naraha.
Jason. Right there. Nice pass by Leo. Leo going to bring all the way in. And one for Leo Naraha.
You know, the boys beach volleyball turned out to be a huge success. Let's talk to one of the players. Sports do not build character, they reveal it. Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation. For the first time, schools competed against each other in beach volleyball. For MHS junior Blake Mister, it was a welcoming sight. The coach for Marianas High School was his father, Tice Mister, who's represented the NMI in numerous international competitions as one of Saipan's top players. And you know, beach volleyball, it does require close, effective teamwork. Growing up in an athletic family helps instill certain values and a lifestyle. Young Stars Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation. Nothing says we're getting back more normal than top plays of the week. We've got them. They're returning. Coming in at number 3, it's Irish Poggerout. Where's she going? Only she knows for sure. The on-point pass to Crizel to his own goal! Coming in at number 2, GCA's Steve Balakrishna. Pounding the ball, slamming it down, hammer time. Steve Balakrishna. Top. Play number 2. In the top. Play of the week, Merrick Tovis and the Mount Carmel Knights, nailing the boys' high school beach volleyball championship. The top player. Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Go-karts, off-roading, and the driving range now open at Marianas Trekking. Go-kart track will be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with 50% off when you book online at marianastrekking.com, hours 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Use the promo code HAFA50 to get your discount. Off-roading is open too by reservation. Come on a 90-minute trail ride that is perfect for families. Book online at marianastrekking.com. Golfers, come practice on the driving range. You can even pay online and we will have the balls waiting for you. Come see us weekends at Marianas Trekking, 323-8735.
All right. Today's high temperature 88, the low 79, humidity 62%. Tomorrow partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds light 5 to 10, high around 88, low 78, seas 6 to 7 feet. Sunrise 6:31, followed by a low tide 1 past 7, high tide at 12:17, sunset at 6:25. It's official. New weekend begins right now. See you back here on Monday.